Welcome back from me, Tim Cable, to this selection of some of the best moments from the first 50 editions of Talking Sportsbooks. And in this clip, Fleet Street veteran Rob Beasley discusses the moment an entire Chelsea squad, including, yes, momentarily Jose Mourinho, were rendered utterly speechless at the entrance of a Hollywood legend. It's a tale of glamour, partying with the stars, Snoop Dogg and Jason Statham, and who he thought was Sarah Jessica Parker and Demi Moore. And just before we get there, just a reminder that we've got a brand new programme out yesterday evening telling one of football's greatest ever tales. It's the story of Elton John and Graham Taylor as they took what was a broke fourth division club in Watford all the way to Division 1, a cup final and European football. But it goes right the way back to the pair of them growing up as kids, and when Elton went for the very first time with his dad, aged 6, to stand on the terraces and watch Watford. You can stream or download from the website at www.talkingsportsbooks.com or via any of the streaming platforms. So, let's get back to where we started. Rob Beasley, a full Chelsea squad on a pre-season tour and the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. The first summer tour you did with him over into the States was the first time you saw him speechless, wasn't it? Beverly Hills Hotel. There was a bit of a star rolled through the lobby.
It's my favourite story. It's my favourite chapter in the book, and you shouldn't have, because it's just spectacular. I mean, there we are. I mean, this is Chelsea. This is Los Angeles, and so you're sitting there and you're looking around, and there's superstars everywhere. And I'm sitting in an armchair in the Beverly Hills Hotel, which is, of course, where Chelsea was staying because they could afford to, and they were they were the kings of English football at the time, and they wanted to swagger around Los Angeles. Nobody recognised anybody. The footballers are pretty much anonymous over there because this is Hollywood and it's showbiz, it's film. It's not. They wouldn't recognise Jose Mourinho if you walked down the street, or Frank Lampard or John Terry. But we were all in there. We were preparing to go down to UCLA University where they were training. So you've got to imagine the scene. There's Jose and all his coaching staff. There's all the players. And, of course, on a pre-season tour, they don't just take the first 26 players. They've got a squad of about 30, 35 players out there. They've got all the medics. They've got all the hangers-on, all the gophers, the kit men and whatever. So there's probably about 40, 45 of us in reception of the Beverly Hills Hotel. And you can imagine what 45 football players and staff are like. The noise, the banter, the shouting. And I'm sitting in an armchair and Jose's sitting on the arm of it. And we're talking about his holiday to Brazil and how it rained virtually every day, biblical proportions. And then the main entrance walks Jennifer Aniston of Friends fame, and suddenly 45, 50 grown men who were in full flow just stopped. Everything, you could have heard a pin drop. It went from being a crescendo of noise and banter and shouting to absolute silence, and everybody was like a zombie. All the chins hit the floor, everybody's eyes are out on stalks, and they're going, oh my goodness gracious me, that's Jennifer Aniston. You think I'm sure everybody was thinking the same. Oh my word, it's Jennifer Aniston. And as she came in, she turned right to go towards the polo lounge, and she's walking across there. She's got a vest up on, a pair of to the knee jeans and flip flops, her hair in just a ponytail, no makeup or anything. But we're all thinking the same. It's Jennifer Aniston. Oh my word, she's even more gorgeous in real life than she's on the TV. Not a word was said until she disappeared down the corridor. She did stop briefly to look across and see all these guys just standing there, helpless. And she smiled and then turned back and carried on. And she disappeared down there, and Jose went, oh my God. He said, Brad Pitt, what an idiot. And of course, it's what we were all thinking. They just split up, and you're thinking, Brad Pitt, you are an idiot. You've just fallen out with Jennifer Aniston, the most beautiful woman we've ever seen. And of course, as soon as Jose said that, the 50 guys in there just roared with laughter because he just nailed it. As so often he did. He absolutely nailed what everybody was thinking. He articulated it, and everybody just cracked up.
Did you actually find out whether you did see Demi Moore and Sarah Jessica Parker in Moonshadow's restaurant?
I tell you what.
What a great restaurant, by the way. I was looking at the menu last night.
well, we were sitting, me and Paul Smith from the Sunday Mirror, we were sitting, and it's sort of, there's a like a cantilever part that goes out over the beach, and as the tide comes in the evening, you're sitting there eating your fresh fish, and the waves lap beneath you. It's just a fantastic place. And we looked across, and there were these two ringers for Jessica Parker and Demi Moore. And we're going, it can't be. It can't. Is it? It can't. Is it? Is it? And of course, you journalists, you sort of think, well, let's go and ask. So they were drinking tea as well. We were drinking cocktails and they were drinking tea. So we went across to say, oh, hello. And clearly it became, they were lookalikes who made their living from being lookalikes. But they were fantastic fun. And we did get a lift home in the Mercedes back to the hotel. But it was all good, clean fun. But it would have been the sort of scenario that Jose would have loved. He would have... can you imagine if it hadn't been them two? God dear me, it would have been unbelievable. But that was the sort of thing that when you're in Tinseltown, everywhere you go, I mean, Chelsea would have a party and there'd be Snoop Dogg there, Jason Statham, and all these sort of people walking. And you're sitting there with John Terry and talking, and Snoop Dogg walks past. Jason Statham's having a row with somebody in the corner, and you're looking around going, everywhere there's a star on every street corner. Lots of stars turned up to watch them train and things like that. So to be suddenly in a restaurant and thinking across there is Jessica Parker and Demi Moore, it's not beyond the bounds of possibility, because you're thinking, well, last night I wasn't with them, but I was in the company of Snoop Dogg and Jason Statham and various, Matthew McConaughey. And now there's Demi Moore and Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah, this is Hollywood. It's fantastic. Let's go and have a cup of tea with them. But you know, it was a surreal world from the days of watching Chelsea at Huddersfield and Barnsley and everything to suddenly be in Tinseltown, sort of rubbing shoulders with some of the most famous people in the world of movies and music. Was just it was surreal.
Incredible. That's a great story, isn't it? And there's a lot more of that in Rob's book. It's called Jose Mourinho, Up Close and Personal. And you can hear the full edition of that online, www.talkingsportsbooks.com, or via any of these streaming providers. All 50 of the previous editions are still available to listen to. And lastly, just before we go, we've got to have a quick shout out to a former Chelsea player's mother. Yes, Mrs. Scott Minter. Now, she used to tune in when Scott and me used to commentate on the Portuguese League over the last few seasons, when we used to live stream our pre-game show from the studio. Sadly, we don't do it anymore. However, apparently she does quite like to have a listen to this every now and again. So, hello, Mrs. Scott Minter. And Scott, it is such a shame we don't do those programs anymore, because I would love to get your take on what is going on at Chelsea. That is it, though, from me, Tim Cable. For now, do keep your eye out for some more of the best moments from the first 50 editions of Talking Sports Books.